here we go. Welcome back to Adolescence of a Bookworm anime review episode number 15. We're here discussing episodes 32 to 34. Yes, basically with these 3 episodes, I have roughly 3 more to go. Excuse me, not 3, 2 more to go for the whole season. Yep, 2 more. So, basically, here's kind of what happens, of course, these episodes. Well, basically, there's a bunch of changes related to what happens. Like, for example, a baby arrives. Yes, a frickin' baby. Apparently randomly donated by, well, basically, it starts out with basically introducing these several nobles. One is people who know the Viscount. There is Vincent Gerlach. This, I believe, no, he may be part of this one. He is just a noble. There is also Viscount Gloria. Yes, Suka's mom. I gotta say, pretty woman. Oh yeah, definitely very pretty. Yeah, for someone who's the mother of a dick like Suka, yeah. The thing with Suka's is he is a massive dick. His mom, well, it's like, yeah. And there is also Count Briswood. Oh boy, this dickwad. Yeah, this guy. It's like, yeah, he really wants mine for some reason. After this brief scene, the course basically also involves a high priest. Also mentioning that Otto and Corinna basically have a baby girl. And of course, mine is basically bragging about how cute her little brother is. And then comes another baby, which is named Dirk, after loose associating with Dahlia, who becomes sort of a big sister to him. And a lot of this episode and the next couple episodes basically focus on him, like when he flips over. And apparently, get this, Mine discovers, thanks to bumps on his head and the fact the boy has a fever, and the only way to get away is by drinking goat's milk. So she has a private discussion with the high priest. And she reveals to him that it is possible this boy may have the devouring. Given the high mana level and the bumps. So then he puts the device in the boy's head, confirms, yes, he does have mana, but his mana is equivalent to a mid-level noble. I mean, they do kind of explain that his mana level is not as high as mine's, but lots of mana. So there is a discussion of getting him adopted. They hold off for a little while, and then Delia finds out about it. And at first, basically, the high priest, the head priest, basically just couldn't find anybody. And then Dahlia tells the high priest about it, and he takes custody of the boy. And Dahlia doesn't have a problem with it. Also, there's a brief thing where Dahlia briefly visits the orphanage and sees her surrogate little brother nearly fall off this little crib thing while Velma is basically talking to Mine. I'm trying to think what else happens here. Well, also they try out new inks per se. Yes, they want to make colorings, and they mention, oh yeah, well, basically, who is the previous head of the guild is dead. How the heck he died? Yeah, and basically there is the ink foreman Beatrice bursts, basically, where it's just maybe he could take over as the guild master, but he's the foreman. It's a bit of conflict of interest. So they talk to his daughter, who apparently we find out she cannot read at all. But God damn it, very pretty girl. Oh yeah, definitely. Oh yeah, and she has a husband. Yep, Joseph. Now, for some reason, the website I'm looking at here does not credit his voice actor, or even Heidi's, but I probably found out. Of course, they try out various inks per se, and of course, oh, it's not holding very well on the paper, and it's just, oh, maybe the fix the agent, which of course they do fix that. And that basically comes with the whole thing with Dirk and the inks basically comes basically stuff going on. Oh, I forgot to mention. These episodes cover from the prologue from basically book 7, and it covers straight to chapter 10 of the book. Yeah, chapter 10. Which is, in just 3 episodes, that is most of the book. Yes, aside from the ink stuff here, the stuff with aside from the ink stuff and the stuff with the baby, there's also this noble, which we don't identify who this noble is, who tries to enter the gate, but the thing is basically not recognized. So, excuse me, he's angry, and then he comes back, and then the head priest is informed about this, and because the Lord is out at basically was described as a Lord's convention. Basically, whoever's the domain lords, it's like a convention, all the gathering of all lords. I think it's like basically going to a convention. So because apparently the head priest is basically the highest ranking noble in the city, so he orders no permits, and mine briefly had to head home. But then, for some weird reason, get this, so. Yeah, then mine goes back, and then the very same noble who came by a day prior, despite the fact basically that Gunther, who's in charge of the East Gate, was told to basically pass message on to the other head gates about this. Apparently, the new guard didn't get the message, so the noble went through no problem, which now it's causing an issue. There is that, and apparently Otto didn't think to calling the knights, even though that is now a protocol. And I'm thinking, wait, why is Otto back being a guard, even though that he is working with his brother-in-law? It doesn't make any sense here. And then Mai and Turi are kidnapped by the end of the episode. Or they're stuffed in potato sacks. 2 little girls. If Gunther finds these guys, he basically just beat them to death for daring to touch his daughters. Yeah, he probably would do that. The wife probably would smack them. But who probably rescue him? We'll find out when we talk about the last episodes. Really interesting, these episodes. There's also a hint about the Italian restaurant. There's a hint that the doors arrived. But I keep thinking, are we going to get the Italian restaurant in these episodes? Given the fact these episodes will start book 7, which features the Italian restaurant, we'll find out over the course of the next couple episodes, because this basically changes the game when it comes to basically what goes on in the next couple episodes, because we have just 2 more to go, and then we're done. Yep. As for when in the world, basically, we're going to... Now, as far as I've heard, at least while I looked up online, so Wit Studio is taking over, basically making this anime. And as far as I've heard, I've not heard any information about this, aside from that we've got a new studio coming for Season 4. It's Season 4 confirmed, got a new studio, and we have a partial release date. 2026. Okay. So, I should point out, though, that that's all we got. We don't know what month or day it's released. So basically, I refer to it as a partial release date. It is assumed that it's going to be adapting from Part 3. But here's the thing. Wit Studio has had 4 years to work on the show. Those of you probably curious about this little factoid when it comes to Wit Studio. Have they been working on anything in, since they got their hands on this show? Have they worked on anything per se. Let's see. Here we go. So, what has basically they worked on the past 4 years? Well, they probably got their hands out of 2022. Mostly put the work on Spy X Family. Yeah, Spy X Family. That's the big thing they work on the last few years. Yeah, an anime that's still continuing. There is Spy X Family, On Pawn, Ranking of Kings, Treasure, Chest of Courage. I would have thought though. Oh, one. And they had worked on a non-Marvel, non-property. Well, apparently also they worked on a virtual YouTuber. Yes. Yeah, they basically VTuber Kaza AI, which I am kind of like, why in the world are they making a series based on this character? I don't know. But the one non-Japanese based property they worked on was Suicide Squad Isekai. A series that lasted for 10 episodes. Yes, 10. I will be checking the show. Oh, don't worry, I will. This is going to be quite interesting. And also, it's on... Oh, in case you're curious, though, streaming services the show on Max and Hulu. Yeah. If I were with Studio, I would probably release an OVA adapting the short stories in Book 7. Yeah, because in a way, most of the book was adapted, but not the whole thing. There's a bunch of short stories related to various characters. There's one for Frida, Sylvester, he's the guy running the domain, Arno, Benno, Fran, Althea, Joseph, Leon. Yeah. As for if they adapt those, I don't know. I would suggest they should, because these short stories are very vital when it comes to what happens in the remainder of the book. But basically, we'll find out. But I do know is basically that starting with the very next season, we're getting kind of a new lead character. Well, I'll talk about that in the next video, because it's going to be interesting to say the least. Yep. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe to notifications. Next up, the final video for this one, okay? For now.